you guys sent in something really cool this time, an article about OpenAI's new language model O1. And let me tell you this thing, it's next level.
It really is something else.
We're talking AI that can supposedly think like we do.
Yeah, it's a huge step.
It's not just giving us information. It's actually like thinking through problems itself.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. We're moving away from AI that just, reacts to what it's told first. O1 is designed to actually solve problems using this chain of thought process.
Chain of thought, okay.
Which is a much closer imitation of how we think.
Okay, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
So what makes this a game changer?
Well, the article claims that O1 is a major leap forward in AI problem solving, and to test it, OpenAI put it through some serious paces with these different benchmarks. Think of them as standardized tests for AI.
Okay.
And O1 aced them.
So these weren't just any old tests, right?
Yeah.
Right. This was the big leagues. We're talking decoding complex ciphers, which, honestly, even I struggle with.
Absolutely. And that's not all. The article even mentioned O1 writing a bash script to transpose a matrix.
Whoa.
Which is a pretty complex coding task.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
And apparently, it even outperformed its predecessor GPT-4o on that one.
Okay, so what does all this mean? Can I ask O1 to do my taxes next year?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but what's really exciting is that O1's success in these benchmarks provides a glimpse into its potential applications across so many fields.
Okay.
Imagine scientists using O1 to analyze massive data sets and potentially speeding up breakthroughs in medicine or climate change research.
Right. Or imagine developers being able to use O1 to just write more efficient code, which could lead to, faster, more powerful software.
Exactly. And it's not just about making things easier or faster. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Okay.
Take the example of O1 solving this really complex mathematical problem, and it actually exceeded human expert accuracy on something called the GPQA Diamond benchmark.
GPQA Diamond benchmark.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
It is. It essentially tests for logical reasoning and problem solving within a specific mathematical domain. And the fact that O1 outperformed human experts suggests its potential to completely revolutionize fields that rely heavily on these complex calculations like engineering, finance, even cryptography.
So this chain of thought thing, it's not just some fancy term. It's actually changing how AI approaches these problems.
Yeah, you got it.
That's wild.
Yeah. And the implications are huge. Imagine O1 helping to develop even stronger cybersecurity measures, or maybe even assisting with the design of entirely new industries and technologies. We're talking of unlocking possibilities we haven't even dreamt of yet.
Okay, so we've established that O1's one smart cookie. But how does this whole chain of thought approach actually work? It sounds kind of like mind reading.
Well, it's not exactly mind reading, but it's definitely a step in the direction of more human-like thinking. Think about how you approach a complex problem. You don't just try to solve it all at once, right?
Definitely not. If I did that, my brain would probably explode.
Exactly. You break it down into smaller, more manageable steps, right?
Yeah, you're telling me I have to, otherwise it would be so lost.
Exactly. And that's essentially what O1 does with this chain of thought process. It breaks these complex problems down into a series of smaller, more logical steps.
Okay.
It's like, instead of just giving you the answer to a math problem, it shows you all the steps it took to get there.
Oh, interesting.
Almost like a thought bubble above its digital head.
So it's not just about getting the answer right, it's about showing its work so we can understand how it got there.
Exactly. And this ability to mimic human-like reasoning, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And the article even highlighted O1 participating in a coding Olympiad, which I thought was really interesting.
Wait, a coding Olympiad? Like the ones where all the crazy smart young programmers compete?
Yes, exactly.
O1 actually did that.
It did. And not only did it participate, but it achieved a high ranking, competing under real-world conditions.
Wow.
So imagine the possibilities. What if tools powered by O1 could help aspiring programmers learn and improve their skills?
Yeah.
Providing real-time feedback and guidance.
That would be incredible. It'd be like having a personal tutor.
Exactly. And it's not just about education. This kind of technology could also level the playing field in the tech industry, making it easier for people from all backgrounds to develop the skills they need to succeed.
Okay, so that's a really cool thought.
Mm-hmm.
But with all this talk about O1's impressive capabilities, it's only natural to have some concerns.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is some seriously advanced AI. How do we know that something this smart will always play by the rules?
That's a great question. And the article actually addresses this head-on.
Okay, good.
It turns out that the chain of thought approach isn't just about making O1 smarter, it's also about making it safer and more reliable.
Okay, how so?
Well, one of the biggest concerns with AI is something called reward hacking.
Reward hacking.
Yeah. It's a bit technical, but basically it means that the AI learns to exploit loopholes in its programming to get a reward, even if it means bending the rules or taking shortcuts that aren't in our best interests.
So like gaming the system.
Yeah, exactly. And because O1 can think through its actions and their consequences in a more human-like way, it's much better at understanding and following complex rules and guidelines.
So it's like, teaching a child right from wrong, but on a much more advanced level.
You could say that it's about instilling a framework for ethical decision-making, which becomes even more important as these AI systems become more autonomous. And OpenAI claims that O1 is designed to not just identify these potential loopholes, but also understand why they are undesirable and ultimately make choices that are aligned with human values.
Okay, that definitely makes me feel a bit better. But if O1 is so good at following the rules, why is OpenAI keeping its chain of thought under wraps? The article mentioned that they're not revealing that whole process to users.
That's an interesting point, and it's actually sparked quite a debate in the AI community.
So it's like we have the potential for these amazing breakthroughs with O1, but then there are also these concerns about, keeping its inner workings a secret.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It feels like a crossroads.
It really is, and it comes down to this classic dilemma, right? Transparency versus control.
Right.
OpenAI argues that actually revealing O1's raw chain of thought could make it easier for people to manipulate it.
Manipulate. So you mean like tricking it into giving wrong answers or behaving in ways that it shouldn't?
Exactly. Like, think about it. If you know exactly how O1 reasons, you might be able to phrase questions or requests in a way that kind of steers it towards a desired outcome, even if that outcome isn't accurate or appropriate.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's like figuring out how to game the system.
Exactly.
Even if you haven't actually learned anything yourself.
Precisely. And as we've said, O1 is designed to be really, really good at following rules and guidelines, but that also makes it potentially vulnerable to this kind of manipulation. So OpenAI is trying to find that balance, right? Giving us access to this powerful tool, but also making sure it's not misused.
So is OpenAI making the right call here? By keeping O1's thought process hidden?
It's a tough one. There are definitely valid arguments on both sides. Transparency is so important for building trust with AI, but at the same time, we need to be really careful about potential vulnerabilities. It's a decision that has, big implications for the future of AI development.
This deep dive has been pretty wild. We've gone from, deciphering complex codes to talking about the ethics of AI transparency.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, O1 is definitely not just another piece of tech. It feels like a sign of things to come.
It really is. It shows us that the future of AI is full of incredible promise, but also some really complex challenges.
Absolutely.
And it's up to all of us to stay informed and engage in these conversations and, help shape the development of AI in a way that benefits everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, if this deep dive has taught us anything, it's that the future of AI is something we'll be talking about for years to come. Thanks for joining us as we explore the fascinating world of OpenAI's O1. Until next time, keep those chains of thought moving.